And hello to all my Sagittarius friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for January 2023. Now today they've dialed up for my great Sagittariuses a Celtic cross spread, and it's a great spread for general readings because it looks a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but it focuses the most on what we're doing right here, right now, called January. It is also the only spread that I do that devotes an entire card to the environment. So there's something that is going on around you in the month of January that is relevant and pertinent, and Spirit wants you to know about it. So we're going to take a peek through all that. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with a chakra scrub, which is a very fascinating spread. It goes through all 7 of your chakras from the root all the way up to the crown, 1 through 7, and we're going to take a peek at all of those. It's basically like spiritual health little checkup, see what's going good, what we can get moving better on, and we're going to conclude your reading with the runestone too. The runestones are all ready to go. The cards are ready to go. They're shuffled up. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time, guys. It's going to be a fascinating reading, and I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Here we go. Bring the cards over. I like to share my table with you guys so you can see what I'm working with. And we are on and recording what I'm doing now, guys. These are my ritual cuts. Basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order, then we're ready to go. Same procedure for personal private readings. It satisfies that ritual aspect of tarot, very important to do. So here comes your Celtic cross. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's behind you, the recent past. This is what's in front of you, the near future. This is what's above you. Probably off screen because that happens in the wide view. I'll move the camera around so you guys can see everything very clearly. I like to show you everything. And this is what's below you, my favorite position, something you're not aware of. And then we got running up the sides with 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to bend 10 in just for the camera. And there we go. Now, I don't do a whole lot to the Celtic cross. Checking my inverts first. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Good distribution, not enough to matter. And the only thing I really tack on here and add to are my majors, which is just this one right here. That's the only one, guys. It's going to get round and round right there. And then we got a lot of people cards. I just need to verify that they're not talking about people cards. They're using the energy of them. So just going to do some discards. Not a person. Over here, not a person. Up here, final outcome is a person. Okay, that's important. Spot number 9, not a person, and that's it. Okay, all the card work is done, guys. Now it's just a matter of letting you see it. I'm going to actually take this off the holder. Make sure you guys can see everything. Get you a nice little clear view. So here is your main cross. Right like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we got running up the sides with number 7. Number 8, actually I missed an oracle card right there. Let's grab that let me put this down so I can touch it. That attaches the energy. There we go, now we're good. That was going to be regeneration. That's number 7, guys. We move up here to 8, number 9, and number 10, which is a person. That's why I got 2 cards back there. So we're ready to go. Let's get moving. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see what January has for my great Saggies. Just going to make myself some room. Spread it out a bit. So I can see everything nice and clear and not be, all jumbled up. Get you guys a nice clean read here. All right, Saggies, we start with going on the offensive. They want you to get moving with something here, guys. Do not hold back, especially if this is in regards to work. This can be different things to different people, but I start with work because it's a suit of wands. Anytime we have wands in tarot, it is the work corner, work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement. If you're of that age, collegiate courses, learning anything new, entrepreneurship. But for most people, the JOB. And that's what they talk about here is really going after something. Don't hold back. It's not the time to hold back. It is time to let loose. So go for that promotion. Go for that new job. Apply for that new job. Whatever it is that you're doing here, there is improvement to be had. They want you to go after something here. And it may not be work either, but that is the core of the card. I mean, that is the suit. So I have to kind of start there and, work our way from there. So what crosses you here, what a lot of people are going through is a certain level of deceitful people or deceit in general. This is my card of theft, loss, or deceit. So some of you may have actually had some financial setbacks. Maybe it's not actual theft. Maybe it's just loss. Like, hey, you just spent a lot of money on Christmas. It happens. A lot of us do it. In fact, a lot of that came up for my quadrants video for a lot of the signs, and that's going to be launching on January 3rd. We'll talk more about that later. But anyway, we have theft or loss coming up here. So that's what a lot of is on the minds of a lot of people right here, especially my Saggies. You're worried about theft or loss, or even just deceitful people in general. Hey, can I trust this person? Are they, they say they're going to do this for me, but are they really going to do it? Do they really have my back? That's the kind of stuff that is going on with a lot of my Sagittarius here. Now, they may or may not talk about that later, but when that comes up, they're at least telling you, hey, you need to keep an eye out. Some of you here may be thinking like, well, no, I don't have any deceitful people around me. I haven't lost anything, and nobody's stolen anything from me either. Hey, keep an eye out, because January is not just right now. It's, the whole month. This reading is for the entire month. So keep an eye out. And anytime I see this come up, it's just as a preventative. Usually they're trying to get you, if they're not talking about what has already happened, they're trying to get you to avoid something here. Very important. So good month to lock your car up. Good month to, not leave valuables out in the open. You can also lose stuff. If you lose something, like let's say a purse, you leave a purse at a restaurant and then it walks off. Well, did somebody steal it from you? Technically, yeah, but you also just lost it. So it's kind of the same energy, because at the end of the day, you don't have the purse, right? So that's what they're talking about here. So just keep an eye on your stuff. You can also be forgetful when this card comes up too. So just try to remember your valuables and all that kind of stuff. Don't leave stuff out in the open, in plain sight. Don't make criminals, and don't become an easy target, stuff like that. So that's what we start with January with. Okay, so important. That's not negative either. That is here, the whole idea of this is to get you to avoid the negative. That's what this is all about, guys. All right, so as we move backward in time, we have action with love. Love corner action. Somebody close to your heart. Steps being made. Now, why is that relevant to January? Because it happened before. Now, how far before? Well, it's different for different people. But this could be November, December. It's a carryover from, I would call it semi-recent. Now, it could be years back if it was a heavy attachment. But we have love eking through that is attached and moving through your January. And it's relevant for that reason. These steps that you've made before are coming to relevancy right here, right now in January. Very interesting. As we move into the forward position, this is, the near future. They show the Devil card. So this is a card about bondage. Now, depending on what kind of bondage this is, this can be a good thing. Example of that, the Devil card, when it comes up, a lot of readers just think it's like, oh, negative and terrible things and, habits, bad habits, and it can be all that kind of stuff too. But it's really a card about bondage, being handcuffed to something. Sometimes, you want to be handcuffed to something, sometimes you don't. Let me give you an example of both. If you're addicted to something like cigarettes, okay, now you have an addiction that you are handcuffed to. You don't necessarily want that addiction, but guess what? You're stuck with it, right? Until you break those chains. Another kind of bondage that you can be attached to is a relationship. Sometimes some of us want to be bonded in love. We want to be in a relationship. That's what bondage is, that in this regard, so that would be a positive version of what this card means. So this is coming up in the future, near future, for a lot of my Sagittarius is here. So what is binding you here in the near future? Well, the clue that they give us here is the Oracle card, and that is round and round. So this is a cyclical thing. This is something that you have been through before and are maybe going through again. Maybe it's attached to that love card that came through the past. Maybe this is a past lover or something like that, some relevancy there. But, so this is reoccurring themes, lessons that maybe you've learned, maybe you should avoid, depending on what it is for you. So that's what we have right there as we move up to your above position. This is something that you are already aware of, so I am not telling you anything new. And this is that you're doing a pretty good job of balancing these corners of your life. The corners of your life are usually work, financial, love, and health. You guys are doing a pretty good juggling act here. And it's hard to do, is what they're saying here for a lot of my Sagittariuses, because it's a constant juggle. It's a constant effort for you to, keep one up. Hey, you got to go to the gym and spend time there. You got to spend a lot of time in overtime at work. And that takes away from the family. And, you got to find time back for the family and, all these things. So you do a pretty good job of it. When it comes up, it is letting you know you need to keep doing that in January. Okay? 2 thumbs up. You guys are doing good, but let's keep those thumbs up. As we get into your bottom position, This is one of the most interesting ones in all of tarot for me, because now I'm telling you something you're not aware of. This is the below position, so it's something that is hidden from you, and Spirit is revealing. What this card is the Queen of Pentacles, basically. This is the nurturing of money, okay? Money really needs to be nurtured in January. This is a time to save in ways that you maybe didn't expect right now. Hey, you know what? Finances are really good. I don't need to worry about anything right now. We just had a great Christmas. Yeah, we spent a lot, but you know what? We're good. We got savings in the bank. We got 401k. Well, sometimes the market does weird things, and things change overnight. The car could blow up. Have transmission goes bad. That's a very expensive repair. All kinds of silly things can happen, and not just car, but it could be house related. It could be a bunch of things. So, what they're telling you here is that you need to nurture your finances. Another way of saying that is save, okay? And they're saying a lot of you are not aware of that, but I'm telling you, just so you can be ready, this is a good month to save. And it may be just because you're getting an influx. Maybe some of you are coming into a lot of money right here, and instead of blowing it, Spirit is saying, hey, you know what? Why don't you put that away? You're going to use that or need it later. It has some kind of major purpose attached to it. So very important. Number 7 is a big one. So I'm going to actually cut away to tell you about your moon cycles, because this is a card about weakness, and the moon cycles are going to help you become strengthened here. And this is the advice column as well. So we're going to cut away, tell you about the moon cycles, tell you about all the fascinating new things that are coming into the shop and the new products. And then we're going to be right back with this big number 7 here. Get this straightened out for you. Okay, guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Let's talk about those moon cycles, because we have the most lunar activity now, January and February until August, guys. So these 2 months are going to be huge. Let's talk about January. The first thing that comes in January is on January 6th. This is going to be a micro full moon. It's called the wolf moon because it's the first full moon of the year of 2023. And the full moon is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit there, that you don't want there in general. Hey, you just got to get it out. It doesn't matter what it is. The universe doesn't care. We've done very specific spreads this month, and it doesn't matter if it's something we've talked about or not. Let's say it's something, for some of you it's people. You got to get people out of your life. For some of you got to sell something. You got to repurpose something to get it out of your life. Emotional baggage, stress, anxiety. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that's got to go and be removed from your life, let's say certain eating habits, the whole bit. It's full moon energy, guys, and the best time to do that is the first week of January. This is very much, New Year's resolution stuff is when you do new things. Well, actually, the way that the moon cycles line up, that's not the case. It's actually the best at the beginning of the new year to get rid of something out of your life with that full moon energy. Now, adversely, and what does micro mean? Micro just means that it's small in the sky. So it's smaller visibly than normal. And, does that mean that it doesn't work as well? No, not really. You can still get it done. It's, the energy is lightened a little bit. But let's talk about that new moon, because that's the opposite. That we have another super new moon coming in January. We just had one in December. We're going to have another one in February. And right now in January, the sky is going to be huge. It is the super new moon. It happens on January 21st. So, don't focus on the end of the month, because that gets back into the full moon eking in from February. But let's call it the third week. The third week of January is the best time to bring actually anything brand new into your life. That New Year's resolution stuff, save it for week 3. I'm telling you, much better chance of getting it to stick and making it apply. And you can just use this new year between now and then as preparation time to get ready for these changes that you're trying to make. And what are you trying to bring new into your life? Well, like I said, the universe doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you use it for. You can use it to attract new love. You can use it to attract new finances. Do something new with work, something new with health. It doesn't matter. So if it's something new, the third week of January is going to be your target time for that, so please stick to that. It's going to help it just move a little smoother. And if any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is for free, and it is on my website. You can check that out anytime. It's on my videos tab. Go to the bottom there. You can see the moon cycle cheat sheet, and it shows you how these energies flow in and out and how best to align important decisions in your own life to them to make things go a little smoother. That's what it's all about, guys, while you're at the website. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. That's at the sign up for that is at the very bottom of every single page, as well as follow the Facebook page, because I do giveaways on there, as well as my newsletter people get giveaways as well. And I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for promo codes and updates, see what's going on. We're always doing new and fun things on the channel, on the site. And also, guys, now I need to tell you about the new product. Speaking of new fun things, I have my quadrants video. I only do these in January, guys, and this is releasing on January 3rd. If you're checking out this video after January 3rd, it's going to autoplay after your reading. But if not, you guys are going to have to check it out. But it's going to be available and posted everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, on my website, the whole bit. Check out your quadrants video. It forecasts the entire year for your sign. And we're looking at, what is the best quadrant? What is the best, quadrant is basically a circle that's broken into 4 parts. So this is your year. What quadrant, what quarter is the best for you for work, for health, for love? What is the best quadrant to take a vacation in? What is the best quadrant for you to be a little conservative? What's the best quadrant for you to get busy and take risks? All these things are going to be looked at in the quadrants video. You can get a sampling of that for yourself for the sign, and that's going to be available to everybody. But let's say you want quadrants done just for you. This is the first time I'm releasing this, guys, as a personal audio product. It is part of the mini product line, and this allows you great planning and preparation tools for the entire year. It's the only time I offer this, and it forecasts the entire year. So this is all about you, so it's extremely accurate. And looking at all these things, it's a huge drop of information, guys. It's the best, probably the best bang for your buck. Anytime I've done this for friends, for colleagues, for clients, they always say, if you only get one thing a year, this is like the best thing to do, because it outlines everything that is important and relevant. And you guys get to check that out for free, a little sampling in the general reading. But if that's not good enough for you, you want something that's all about you, the quadrants video is now available as a personal audio product on the website. And it's extremely affordable, best bang for your buck you can get. Speaking of new things on the website, guys, I got to tell you about the shop. We got Tiger's Eye gemstones going in on the shop, and I'm going to be flashing pictures up as I talk about it here. We got the standard golden Tiger's Eye. We got the red flare Tiger's Eye. It's just red Tiger's Eye. I call it flare because it's so shiny. And then we got the blue Tiger's Eye, also very, very shiny, very deep dark blue. And they all kind of vibrate a little bit differently, but they're all kind of the same major themes. Tiger's Eye is really good for negating any kind of negative energy, transmuting it basically, and it's also good for insight and seeing things very clearly, and a whole host of other things as far as medical reasons too, medical things that it really does to boost your body. So a whole host of different things. I'm not going to we got to get back to your reading. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but the whole write-up is on the website, scottsagent.com. You can check out all 3 of them and the differences between each of them. And also available, I got a few keychains to go with them. There's a few individual products for keychains. And the best part about the whole thing is what it comes with. Any kind of gemstone purchase is going to come with a free little nylon drawstring bag, a little way to carry your gemstone. And also a little pendant, which is going to be a separate gemstone. Both of those are going to come for free. Okay, well, what if I just buy one gemstone? Do I still get that stuff for free? Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You get all of it with every purchase. Now, it's only 1 per month, guys, but you know what? Most people are only going to make 1 purchase a month anyway. So you're getting all this free stuff with any gemstone purchase, and you can read that right up online. It's a no-brainer, guys. Make sure you check out all 3 of those beautiful Tiger's Eyes. Now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Sagittarius, so you can see here that they want you to act out of strength, not out of weakness. So they don't want you to make decisions when you're emotional. Don't get all upset about something. That isn't a big deal. Okay, they're basically saying you have all the tools here. You just need to use them. You need to be smart with the things that occur to you in January. And, you have basically everything you need. You're not missing anything. So that's the good news. Now, when it comes in weakness, they're basically afraid that you're going to act out of weakness. They don't want you to do that. So, the situation that they're describing in January is going to come probably at different times for different Sagittariuses. So just be on the lookout and be ready for, hey, if you feel a certain way, if you feel that emotions built up, you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm not really in a good headspace right now, don't make major decisions when that happens. I mean, it's simple advice, but of course it's hard when you're in the moment. People like to act in those moments, and it usually doesn't work out very good, and that's what Spirit's telling you here. So there's also a regeneration aspect to this. So this is like the Death card. This is my Oracle card that relates to the Death card. So that basically means that this advice that they're saying here is this needs to be 100% all, not partial. Okay, so no part measures, no half measures. You can't hey, I'm going to act strong this one time to my boss, but, the next day I'm going to, go back to my normal routine or something like that. They're saying no. No. Spirit's like, no. You got to do this all the time. You got to understand that this strength is required all the time of whatever situation that they're describing in January. You can't just do it once and be done with it. You got to exude this the entire month. Okay? So very important to know that. As we move up to number 8. Excuse me. Number 8 is your environment card. This is the one that they wanted to do the spread for, and they're basically saying, hey, the environment around you is slow. Slowest card in the deck, it is my Eight of Wands, but when it's inverted, it goes from the fastest to the slowest. So we are dealing with slow energy around you. Usually in work too, because wands are work. It is the suit of work. That's kind of where we started your reading, and that's where we move to in your environment too. So what does a slow environment mean? It could mean that business is slow. And depending on whether you're salary or hourly, that could be a good or a bad thing. Or it's just saying, hey, you know what? Not a lot is really going on right now. And that is why they gave you that first card of, hey, you need to chase after something here, because things are just way too slow, way too stagnant. Things have not been changing. We don't have the improvement and the growth that you are capable of. And Spirit's trying to get you to a better place here, so they're telling you, hey, the environment's slow. Let's do something about it, okay? As we move up to hopes and fears, of course, this here is going to be a message that comes through the air. So this is going to be, this can be positive or negative, but what they're referring to here is that there's a message, there's a correspondence that's going to come in late in January, guys, for a lot of my Sagittariuses. And this is a message that you either have been hoping to hear or a message that you've been fearing to hear. And it's probably a split audience deal. They don't give me the specifics in this kind of a setup, guys, but there is an important correspondence. And when I say through the air, that is the Suit of Swords, and that's something like an email that goes through the air. Invisible, right? A text message, a phone call, something like that. So just be on the lookout later in January. Don't miss any of these phone calls, these texts or emails. Don't miss, your old email account that you don't check very much. You know what? In January, check those. Make sure you're checking everything, guys, okay? Especially if it's something important. Otherwise they wouldn't be talking about it at all. Long story short. The last thing we wrap up with final outcome, they bring in a male. We bring in a king, and this one is the one that they did say a person with. This is not the energetic definition of the king. This is the real deal king. So this is a masculine force. It doesn't necessarily have to be a biological male. This could be a very, very masculine female, but for the most part, this is just a guy, okay? In modern times, that's what they're referring to with the king. So why does your final outcome for January end up with a guy? Well, that's going to be different for everybody too. You're going to really have to get to where they're trying to put that together here for you. It could be a guy if you're, in the dating field and you're trying to make moves there, or if, hey, you know what, there's something going on with the family and, the man's going to have to make a major decision here. So this is letting you know that, this is not you. Even if you're a man viewing this reading, you already know that this stuff is about you. So they don't need to bring in another person that is you. This is another male. If you are a male viewing this reading, they're talking about another guy. Okay, so what in regards to that is about, I'm not going to pretend that I know. When I don't know, I tell you guys I don't know. And that's just for you to, I guess, keep in the back of your mind. So when it happens, be like, oh, okay, now I understand. That final part of January is about this person because, this person's going to help me move. This person's going to help me, they're the one that's going to tell me about this job opportunity, that this slow stagnation I'm going to break this, something like that. So very important that there's a guy coming up here later in the month of January for my Saggies. Let's get into your runestone, then we're going to get into your chakra scrub. Runestones are already mixed up. I'm going to give them one quick swirl. Dive in there. And we got the runestone here for Sagittarius. It's going to be this one right there. This is the runestone of the self. So this is the opportunity for my Sagittarius is, worry about you right now. You don't have to worry so much about everybody else. This is the time to shine for you. Worry about yourself, especially in the work position that we're doing, the balancing act that we talked about that you guys are doing, the love correspondence that's moving through, and the bondage that comes in the future. And hopefully that's not habitual. Bad time to start new habits, guys, especially if they're bad. If it's something that you don't do, let's keep it that way, okay? So working on yourself here, getting yourself, the money saved. We really talked about every single aspect. It's almost kind of like a Four Corners happened at the same time as a Celtic Cross because we have talked about literally every single topic here in the Celtic Cross. So work on yourself, guys. The self is very important, and that's not a selfish thing at all because only when you are whole are you able to give back to other people. So very important to make sure that you're good first. Think of, a laptop that charges, you charge your phone off of your laptop. If your laptop is dead, it has no batteries, how are you going to charge your phone off of it? Well, you work the same way, and the people using energy off of you work the same way. So conceptually, that's the same. Now I did not use that many cards. I'm going to run this just the way it is, guys. I kind of have a limit, and we are close to it, but we did not breach it. So there's no reason to cut away. I'm just going to kind of discard and get moving with your chakra scrub. Now, the chakra scrub does go down. I'd pull it down the line 1 through 7. I may talk about it and discuss it in a separate order, but let's see what we got first. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4 block, not enough to matter, so that's good. I do need an oracle card right here, and that's the only one we need. I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. So number 7 here, this is your root chakra. This is the red. This is your ability to be grounded. They bring in an event that's on a block here. So something here can really, there's an event that Spirit's saying, you know what, Saggy, you should really consider going to this. This would actually be really good for you. It's maybe something you don't want to do, but maybe you should. Birthday party, an expo of some form, museum, theater, outing with the family, some friends, something like that. There's some kind of event, that's the best word to place it on, that would really be good to ground you. It would be really good for you to get out. Maybe it's even going into, I'm feeling water with some people, and I know it's winter, so water doesn't really make sense, but for some people it will. There's some kind of water involved for some people with that too. But there's an event going on here, and even if the event is catering back to yourself, that runestone of the self, the best way to ground here in the root chakra is actually, if you can't get out in the sand and the beach and touch nature and hike, the best way to do that is a bathtub. Take a nice hot bath. Ground yourself. Water is a good one. So there we go with root. As we move up here, this is your orange chakra. This is your emotional center. And they say bad karma, bad attachments here. Be careful of that, guys, with emotions. Your emotions are at a vulnerable state in January. Be a little cautious of that. A little bit of meditation or using the color orange when you feel emotionally kind of turbulent can actually strengthen you here. And guided meditation, chakra stuff for the orange would boost that too. Get that moving a little bit better. As we move up from there, and I don't have one for that one, that's why I didn't plug it. We'll talk about the one that I do have later. We move up from there, we get into your yellow. This is willpower. We have a very good connection between spiritual plane, earth plane. You guys are 100% perfect. The willpower is going to be strong for my Sagittariuses in the month of January. As we move up from there, here we hit the heart. Heart is your emotional center, but your deeper love, more empathy, deeper caring. It's kind of lost right now. So a lot of my Sagittariuses could get this back on track by doing something very, very kind for other people. They say it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to somebody. Hugs are free, for most people. Most people don't charge for hugs, that kind of deal. So this is something that you could really do to give back and really open up your heart chakra a little bit here. Maybe give to somebody who is in need, help somebody out who wasn't expecting to be helped, even just hold the door for the old lady leaving the grocery store, something like that. So that's what comes up for heart. Let's get that kicking in high gear here, Saggies. Moving up from there, we got throat. And throat is the guided meditation that I do have. That is on my website, scottsagent.com. It is also available on YouTube. It is free, guys, and this will help your expression if this is an area that is of concern to you. And they bring in impatience. So there's something here that you guys want to voice your opinion about in January, and you just want to maybe rip somebody's head off. Hey, you know what? I'm really pissed off about this, and you know what? This is a meditation that can help. This is an area that can help too. Not just expression too, but just the way you express yourself and just the words that you speak. Sometimes it's good to taste the words before you let them roll out of your mouth. And here they bring in a huge impatience and imbalance with that. So this is an area that can get you in trouble in January. And they bring in the fates. So there is also a lot of destiny related to this. So it may be getting you mad for a reason. It's like getting you mad enough at a job that you want to leave it to find something better. Okay, so that's what that is all about there. Let's move on. Moving up here. This is your third eye, guys, and this is, you know what? It is moved into a good spot. I'm not worried about it. I like it. I like the way it looks. Meditation can be a very good thing for my Sagittariuses. You guys have the ability. Lucid dreaming. You're going to pay attention to your dreams and the things that come in there too, because your third eye is kicking very nicely. Very nice. Then we move up to the very top here. We got your crown chakra. They're saying your crown chakra is going in bunch of different directions here, and the crown chakra is your attachment to the solar, the lunar, the higher dimensional stuff. Moon cycle stuff is a lot under crown 2, guys. So your moon cycles, you may want to go back to that part of the video again and check that out again. And also on the website, those moon cycle cheat sheets will help you get this crown chakra aligned, get it moving better. And you can also use that color too. And this is that deep purple, very deep purple. The kind of the celestial purple color is what I kind of refer to it as. That can really get this kicking in high gear. Also gemstones used in the color purple, all that kind of stuff really helps get that crown chakra going in full effect. And then those moon cycles will just really fall into place for you. And you got to really kind of practice to get good at it. Anyway, just like anything else in life, it usually doesn't come for free. It doesn't usually come like the first time. You got to fall a few times before you learn to walk and that kind of thing. So that has been the entire reading, guys. The chakra scrub, all in all, looks pretty good. Just a couple areas that you guys can improve on in the month of January to start February in full stride and in strength and in confidence. And that is the entire reading, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, have a great, happy New Year. Enjoy your January. Thanks.